Imagine this. You're in the middle of what feels like the perfect love story. Holding hands with someone you trust more than anyone else, sharing dreams under the starry Seattle sky. But then, out of nowhere, a single confession shatters everything, revealing a betrayal so deep it leaves you gasping for air. That's the heart-wrenching tale we're diving into today on Payback Stories. The shocking affair of Emily and Jack, and the unexpected reason behind her devastating betrayal. If stories like this grip your heart and make you think twice about love, hit that subscribe button right now for more real-life twists of love, hate, and revenge. Alright, let's get into it. Before we jump into Emily and Jack's story, let's talk about why betrayal happens in relationships. It's something so many of us face, right? First point, people cheat when they feel emotionally neglected. Like when their partner is always buried in work and forgets those little moments that make love feel alive. Think about it. A quick text or a surprise hug can mean the world. But without it, someone might look elsewhere for that warmth. Second, sometimes it's about seeking excitement after years of routine, where the spark fades and life feels like the same old Seattle rain day after day. A new person brings that thrill, even if it's wrong. Third, revenge plays a big role too. If someone thinks they've been hurt, they might strike back in the worst way, turning pain into a cycle of heartbreak. Fourth point, low self-esteem can push folks into affairs, making them crave validation from someone new when they feel unseen at home. It's like staring in the mirror and not liking what you see, so you chase compliments from a stranger. Fifth, unresolved issues from the past, like old traumas or family baggage, can bubble up and lead to bad choices, especially if communication breaks down. And sixth, opportunity knocks when boundaries slip. A work trip to Chicago, a late-night chat with a coworker, and suddenly, temptation wins. These points hit home for so many, don't they? Like that friend who felt invisible in her marriage and ended up in a mess she regretted. Now, let's meet our main characters. Emily Thompson was a bright-eyed graphic designer from Seattle. With long auburn hair that danced in the wind off Puget Sound, she was the kind of woman who lit up a room with her laugh, always planning cozy date nights with candles and homemade pasta. Jack Harlan, her husband, was a hard-working software engineer, tall with kind blue eyes and a smile that could melt ice. They met in college in Boston, fell madly in love over late-night coffees, and moved to the Pacific Northwest for his dream job at a tech firm. Life seemed perfect. A cute bungalow in Capitol Hill, weekend hikes in the Olympics, and dreams of starting a family. But beneath the surface, cracks were forming, invisible like fog rolling in from the bay. Their story starts on a crisp autumn morning in Seattle. Leaves crunching underfoot as Emily waved goodbye to Jack from their front porch. He was off to another long day at the office, promising he'd be home early for once. But as usual, he texted later, "Stuck in a meeting, babe." "Love you," Emily sighed, staring at her phone in the empty kitchen, the rain pattering against the window like tears. She felt so alone, like she was fading into the background of his busy life. That's when Mike entered the picture, a charming coworker at her design firm. With an easy grin and stories that made her laugh for the first time in months, he was from Chicago, new in town, and always ready with a coffee run or a listening ear. Mike wasn't the only one in their circle. There was Sarah, Emily's best friend since high school in Boston, a fiery real estate agent who lived for girls' nights out. Sarah noticed Emily's growing distance and tried to warn her. "Talk to Jack before this gets out of hand." Then there was Tom, Jack's buddy from work, a laid-back guy who loved craft beers and Seahawks games. Tom saw Jack stressing over deadlines, but encouraged him to make time for home. And don't forget Lisa, Emily's older sister in Portland, who visited often and sensed the tension, always saying relationships need watering like plants, or they wither. These friends formed the backdrop. Watching as the storm brewed, it all escalated one snowy evening in December. Emily and Mike were working late on a project, the office lights dim, holiday music faintly playing in the hall. Outside, snowflakes swirled like confetti gone wrong, blanketing Seattle in white. Emily confided in Mike about feeling neglected, her voice cracking as she wiped away a tear. He leaned in, his hand brushing hers, and in that vulnerable moment, they kissed. It was electric, forbidden, and Emily pulled back at first, guilt flooding her like the cold wind outside. But the loneliness won out, and soon, stolen lunches turned into secret meets at a cozy cafe in Pike Place Market, where the smell of fresh fish and flowers masked their whispers. Jack, meanwhile, was clueless at first. He came home exhausted, collapsing on the couch with a beer, the TV flickering blue light across his tired face. He'd notice Emily's distant smiles, her phone buzzing more than usual, but he'd brush it off as work stress. One night, as rain hammered the roof, he tried to reconnect, pulling her into a hug on their worn leather sofa. "I miss us," he murmured, but Emily's mind was elsewhere, replaying Mike's compliments that made her feel desired again. The betrayal deepened when Emily and Mike spent a weekend conference in Chicago, really a getaway to his old haunts. Walking hand in hand along Lake Michigan, wind whipping her hair as guilt gnawed at her insides. Enter the twist that made this affair shocking. Emily didn't cheat just for attention. There was an unexpected reason buried deep. Years ago, before they married, Jack had a brief fling during a rough patch in college, something he confessed early on. But recently, Emily overheard Tom joking about an old photo from Boston, hinting at more secrets. Misunderstanding it, she thought Jack had been unfaithful again, hiding a whole other life. Fueled by hurt and rage, she saw the affair as payback, a way to even the score in her mind. It was revenge disguised as escape. Her heart screaming for justice while tears stained her pillow at night. As winter dragged on, the web of lies tightened. Sarah confronted Emily one rainy afternoon in a Seattle coffee shop, steam rising from their lattes. "This isn't you, Em. You're destroying everything for what? A fling?" Emily broke down, sobbing into her hands, the cafe's chatter fading around them. Meanwhile, Jack started suspecting something when he found a hotel receipt in her purse. His world cracked open like ice on a frozen lake. He confided in Tom over beers at a dive bar in Ballard, the neon signs buzzing overhead. "I think she's seeing someone," Jack said, voice breaking. As rain streaked the windows, Lisa got involved too, driving up from Portland on a stormy weekend. She sat with Emily in their living room, fire crackling in the hearth, and urged her to come clean. "Secrets eat you alive, sis. Think about what this is doing to Jack." Emily paced the floor, her bare feet cold on the hardwood, torn between guilt and the thrill. Mike, sensing the end, pushed for more, but Emily realized the affair was hollow, like chasing shadows in the fog. The unexpected reason that misguided revenge now felt like poison in her veins. The climax hit on a foggy spring morning. Jack followed Emily to a park near Lake Union, where cherry blossoms fell like pink snow. He watched from afar as she met Mike, their embrace confirming his worst fears. Heart pounding, Jack confronted them, his voice raw with pain. "How could you, Em? After everything?" Emily fell to her knees in the damp grass, tears mixing with dew, confessing it all, the loneliness, the misunderstood past, the revenge that spiraled out of control. Mike slunk away, leaving them in the ruins. Jack stood there, wind rustling the trees, feeling like his world had crumbled. "I never cheated again. That was a mistake from years ago." The revelation hit her like a thunderclap. Her reason for betrayal was built on a lie. A twisted misunderstanding from Tom's innocent joke. Devastation washed over them both, the park's serene beauty mocking their pain. They screamed, cried, held each other in the mist, but the trust was shattered beyond quick repair. In the aftermath, revenge took a new form. Jack, heartbroken, moved out to a small apartment in Tacoma, throwing himself into work and therapy. Emily, racked with regret, sought help from a counselor in Seattle, journaling by the window as ferries crossed the Sound. Sarah and Lisa rallied around her, late-night calls filled with tough love. Tom helped Jack rebuild weekend fishing trips on the Sound to clear his head. Mike faded into the background, transferring back to Chicago, a ghost of bad choices. Months passed, seasons changing like flipping pages. Emily reached out one sunny afternoon, meeting Jack at their old favorite spot in Discovery Park, waves lapping below. "I was wrong, Jack. My betrayal came from pain I didn't handle right." He listened. eyes misty, the ocean breeze carrying salt and hope. They didn't reunite right away. Wounds like that take time, but they started talking, building brick by brick. The unexpected reason behind her devastating betrayal. It wasn't just lust or boredom. It was a fire of misplaced revenge, sparked by a shadow of doubt that grew into a blaze. Stories like this remind us how fragile love can be, how one misunderstanding can lead to chaos. In the end, Emily and Jack found a path to forgiveness, but the scars remained. Lesson in communication and trust. If this tale of love turned to hate and the road to payback hit you hard, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment below, sharing your own story. Have you ever faced betrayal like this? And don't forget to subscribe to Payback Stories for more emotional roller coasters that keep you hooked. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.